Sylvanian Family Values, Do-It-Yourself House Walls with Andrew Bowen. That's me. You may remember that from the animations we have these nice looking brick walls, and of course the inside walls of some of the rooms in the hotel. And in this video I am going to show you how to make them.
Okay, so to make one of these things for the door and the walls, for your little green door, you're going to need popsicle sticks, some egg carton that's been cut out into little bricks, white glue, some brown acrylic paint, some modelling paste, some black and white paint, and of course some paint brushes and a knife for cutting the cardboard. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, you need to cut out a piece of cardboard. The length is whatever you need for the room, and the height I usually cut it to about 12 centimeters. The next thing you need to do is draw some lines at the edge that you are going to cut out. This will help the different pieces of wall to fit together. And now I have cut these pieces, and you need to be careful when you're cutting them, because when you want to put them next to another piece, the grooves need to be on opposite sides so that they can fit like that. Okay, once the cardboard is cut out, you can use some MDF to help reinforce this before you start painting it. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've stuck some MDF to the back, and now I'm going to weigh it down with some books while it dries so that the wall stays completely straight. Okay, once the glue has dried, I then draw a little square here which is 9.7 centimeters by 5.2 centimeters, and this is the space for the door, and then I cut it out. Okay, once the door is cut out, you'll need 4 pieces of popsicle sticks that have been cut to 5.2 centimeters. Oh, sorry, 7.2 centimeters, and 4 that are cut to 9.7 centimeters. And also, you'll need to cut a lot of these little pieces of wood out of the popsicle sticks, which are about 3.3 centimeters. Okay, next what you need to do is start sticking down the popsicle sticks onto the cardboard. You can see here I've used the 9.7 centimeter pieces for the size of the door, and the 7.2 centimeter part I put on top, and I've put the 3.3 centimeter pieces all along the side. Once this is done, I'll then do another set of these on top of this to thicken the door frame, and later on I'll do some of the things that I'll put on top of here to give this a more of a fancy effect. Okay, and now here are the pieces of popsicle stick that have now been stuck to the cardboard. Once this is done, you need to put some weight on this with some books so that as it dries it doesn't distort. So I'm going to put a book on here now, and several more. Yes. Once the glue is all dried, we then need to start painting the walls. Okay, I'm using some white paint. Okay, so the wall is now painted, and so what I'm going to do is then add some modelling paste to fill in the little gaps on the wood here so that it will all look nice and smooth. Okay, and now we start applying the paste to the little gaps here, and this modelling paste, once it's put in, it will start to dry and remove all these little gaps. Okay, so I'll put some of this on, and make sure when you're putting it on, when it comes to these little bits just here, to put some in here as well to smooth off the top, because this is where you have the edges of the popsicle sticks, and you want that nice and smooth. Maybe you can paint some down on there, then afterwards smooth it with your hand to fill in all the little cracks. Okay, after about 10 minutes I then go over the paste with a wet brush to smooth off the paste here so that it is ready then to be painted on. Okay, so I now leave that to dry for about 2 hours, and then I'll start putting on some brown paint. Okay, now that the paste is dry, we're going to start painting the wood with this brown paint. Next, we mix some black water-based paint with quite a bit of water, and we use this for shading on the wood so it gives it a darker look. So if we look here now where I'm painting, you can see it will make the wood darker. Okay, and with the addition of the watered down black paint, we now have this very dark looking wood. And if you want, you can add varnish to this so it becomes nice and shiny, so it looks very new. Or if you want to make it look very old and worn, then don't bother with any varnish. Okay, now that this panel is finished, we're going to get another piece of cardboard that is the same size as this, and we are going to put it on the other side to glue it together, because this is going to be the outside wall of the panel. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this to the other part. Okay, now that this has been stuck to the other side, I'm going to cut out the door and also the area for a window. This one is being cut by 5 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters here for the window, and you need to cut through both parts of the cardboard. Okay, and we can see here now I have cut out the hole for the window and also for the door. So let's now start on the window frame. Okay, what you need to do now is cut 4 pieces of wood popsicle sticks that are 9.7 centimeters long and 2 that are 7.2 centimeters long. This is for the outside part of the door. And then you need to cut 2 pieces of popsicle stick that are 5 centimeters long and 2 that are 6.5. This is going to be for the window. And then you need to paint them with a brown paint. Okay, and next thing you need to do, you need to get 8 matchsticks and cut them to about 3.8 centimeters in length. Okay, that's what I have here. What you next need to do is paint the matchsticks, or paint them brown, and then you need to glue them in a little square on some thin plastic. You can use the plastic that you get from the Sylvanian Family boxes when you open them, okay? If we look here, I have now stuck the matchsticks to this plastic using the EVA plastic glue, okay? So just leave that to dry and then we'll cut these out. Okay, once the paint has dried and the glue has dried on these pieces of wood, we can now start fitting them in. I've put glue around the outside of the window, and then I start putting in the shorter pieces at the top and the bottom, and the longer pieces in at the side, such as this one. Okay, once the glue has dried on your little windows, you need to take one of them and then stick it to the top part of the window that you have in the house, so that the bit which is raised, if you look here, goes on the inside, and the bit which isn't goes on the outside. Okay, next you need to paint another 2 matchsticks and cut them to about 2.2 centimeters in length. Once these 2 pieces are cut, you then need to stick them underneath the piece of the window that you've put in here. Okay, so now this is all being glued and the glue is dried, we can put the other part of the window on here, and you can see that it slides up and down. So what we need to do now is get 2 pieces of the wood that are about 6 centimeters long, which is made from a popsicle stick that has been split in half, and we need to glue these down here so that this window will continue sliding, but it is kept in position. So that's what I'm going to do now. And finally, here we have the window with one panel that lifts up so that you can put your finger through, and the window is done, and let's slide it down. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is just paint some brown paint around here, which will be being painted on the plastic, and then after that we're going to start on the brick wall here. Okay, so now we're going to do this type of gritstone brickwork like we have up in Yorkshire in England. And to do this, what we need is some cut up pieces from an egg carton, and these are all being cut in a brick shape, as you can see here. Okay, so cut these all up. Then after that, you need to then glue it to the cardboard that you placed on the other side of the wall. So what we do now is we start gluing the little pieces of egg carton to the wall. Now, okay, I've pasted some white glue on the wall, and now I am adding the little bricks. Okay, I've now put all the bricks on the walls. They're all stuck there with white glue. So what I'm going to do now is paint the bricks and the cardboard in a very dark grey, and then afterwards I'll paint the wood here in a dark brown. Okay, now I have mixed some white and black acrylic paint together to have this dark grey colour, and this is going to be the colour of the bricks on the wall. Okay, the wall has now been painted grey, and I've done the brown here, the first coat. What I'm going to do now with the wall is I'm going to use these different brown and yellow colours to paint on the wall. But when I use this, I'm going to be doing something called dry brushing, where I get a very, very dry brush, then I get a little bit of the paint, and then I just do a very light painting on it. Okay, so if we look there, I've done one coat. You can only just see little bits of brown, and I'm going downwards so that the top of the brick will be lighter than the bottom part. Okay, I'm now going to do that with the other three colours. Okay, if we look at the wall now, we can see that the different colours are quite obvious here. But when we add some black paint mixed with water and we do a wash over the top, it will all merge in and will give a very good gritstone effect. Okay, I have now applied the black wash, and you can see now that the bricks all look quite dull. With this, I'm not going to add any varnish because I don't want it to look shiny. I want it to look like gritstone. Okay, and here we have the final product. And this is going to be a toy shop in the town centre where Simon and his mother Lolita are going to buy some toys. And we can see we've got Mrs. Snow here who works in here. Let's have a look around the shop. So we've got one of the windows there. And if we look on the outside, we can put the window down. Okay. And we also have the other window that I showed you I was making here. And we can look through to see what's inside. And we can also put this window down as well. Okay. Right, now I just need to get this little toy vehicle.
Hey, you have to pay for that!
What? But I put this in here, it's mine. I used it to set up the model.
But it belongs to the toy shop.
Okay, how much is it?
It is £150.
Right. I got some of that, some twos, another few 50s, one more 50. Okay, and a bit more. Okay, I've got a few coins. Okay, is that fine now?
No, it isn't! I can't move!
Sorry. Goodbye.